Well, welcome, Nathan. Today we're speaking with Nathan James of Inglorious fame about his new project band, Iconic, that features some pretty iconic musicians. Michael Sweet from Striper, Joel Hoekstra from Whitesnake, Tommy Aldrich from Whitesnake, Marco Mendoza from Dead Daisies, as well as Journey. Their album, Second Skin, will be out in a few days on June 17th. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I truly appreciate it. And I love the album.
No, that's good news. I love it too.
I think there's some tremendous chemistry between you and the band, not just in the songwriting, but of course in the guitar playing, as well as the dual vocals. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you. It's kind of crazy to be um, in a band where you're told that you're going to be the lead singer. Michael Sweet's just going to play guitar. It's crazy.
I know, but you guys did some really nice duets together, like on the title track, Second Skin. So kudos to
Yeah,
you guys for pulling that one off. That was great.
yeah, thank you. I think that's probably one of my favorite songs on the album as well. It's one of the heavier songs for sure.
Yeah, and I think the dual vocals definitely brought it to another level, which I really thought was
Yeah, I'm really thrilled actually that our voices work so well together because they're so contrasting. Um, I find a lot of the times when two voices get together, it's almost like feels like a battle, or you can't separate them.
great.
Like, and I feel like with myself and Michael, it's very complementary, and also you know exactly who's singing at any point. You know,
Yes.
we're very different.
Yes. I spoke with Joel for another publication about the music, and understanding that you guys weren't all in the same room writing and working remotely. How did the creative magic happen between you and the band and Michael?
Um, I was sent loads of demos, so I was sent the whole album's worth of demos, and I couldn't actually believe that they weren't all together. I think Joel, I don't know what Joel told you, but I think he wrote the majority of the riffs,
Yes.
sent them through to Michael and to Alessandro, and they turned them into tracks, um, wrote most of the top lines, and then sent them forward to me. And I couldn't believe how great the songwriting was on this album. It sounds like it's so good. It's a really well written and well rounded album. As a collection of 11 songs, it is really great. Um, I obviously got lucky enough to write two of them, which was pretty cool. So how that worked was they literally just sent me the demo without any vocals on and said, "We'd like you to write a top line and some lyrics to this." So I did, and not knowing what to expect, I sent my demos back to them and said, "Hey, I hope you like it." Like sending my songs to Michael Sweet, and just terrifying. And they loved it, and the record label loved it, and so much so that All I Need, which was the third single, was actually one of mine. So,
Cool.
yeah, really pleased about that.
What was the other one?
Enough of Your Love, the final track.
That's great. Two great songs, right?
Yeah, really bluesy, and hearing Tommy do the shuffle on the
Yeah.
last is like my favorite thing. Yeah.
I know that you love to create lyrics and you're a great storyteller from Inglorious. Tell me about the meaning of those two songs and where did you pull from for those?
The Enough of Your Love was kind of the deeper kind of one for me to write because it's more about um, being in a situation with someone who is an addict and who is a
Oh,
bit of a nightmare. Um, it's talking about slowing down. You're talking too much, which we've all been in those situations where we've met people that just talk, talk because they're under the influence of something. So that's kind of what that is about. I made it about more about kind of relationship side of things. Um, and all I need, I wrote the that chorus line, all I need, and as soon as I wrote that, I was like, okay, it's got to be a love song. It's got to be a song about screwing up and about um, when you're together with someone, everything else doesn't matter. Everything fades away, and you're just what all that matters is love. And that I kind of got a. It's almost the David Coverdale approach to songwriting, right?
yes.
Like write about what you know, write about things you know and things you care about. So that's what, um, yeah, they're two great songs, but there's so many great songs on this album. I I say Second Skin's my favorite, but I find it hard to pick. Every
Yeah.
day it changes.
I think Second Skin is the one I always gravitate towards when I'm listening to it. Did you, when you were working with Michael, did you record all of the parts and then Michael went in and put where he needed him to be? Or was that previously discussed how it was going to work out, that it was going to be a duet?
It was previously discussed, and they were written as duets, I believe. So
Yeah.
what I was sent was a demo with, when I did my recording, with Alessandro singing both parts, and him just saying, "You're singing this bit, Michael will sing this bit." So I didn't hear Michael's vocals until we heard the mixes. So I was kind of like preempt what I thought he would do and do things that I think would complement. And then when I got his back, I was like, wow, like so blown away when I finally heard the song finished.
Yeah.
Because he makes these incredible choices as a singer that most singers just don't have in them, right? They just don't have the skill to be able to do. But he really does. And to hear him sing some of those notes and make some of those melody choices and riffs, and also hear him singing something totally different to Striper, you know, like it's very different vocally for him. I really enjoy it, and I think our voices work so well together.
Yeah. You sound so excited about it. And the enthusiasm is really contagious. Did you get the whole CD completed and you listened to it, or did you just get track at a time? And what was your thought? What was your thought when you heard these for the very first time?
I got like a track after a track after a track, and then all of a sudden we got the whole lot. And at first, I remember one of the first songs I got must have been Second Skin and Nowhere to Run, and I just thought people are gonna absolutely love this.
Yeah.
I just knew they'd love it. Like, it was instantly like so gripping, you know, like those first riffs. It's like big riffs from the get-go, and knowing what, even on the demo, I could hear what Tommy was going to do.
Yeah.
You know, like that, like, so, yeah, so cool. It's just wild. And I'm so glad you picked up on my excitement, because I've been talking about this for like a week now in various interviews, but I'm still buzzed about it every time.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I'm never going to take it for granted.
I think that's what I said earlier on. Your chemistry also, it just all worked. It was just a really solid rock band, you know? And it was almost like you guys have been working together for years, not just remotely. So yeah, that's what I picked up out of it. And that's what I love about rock. You know, all the rock bands I grew up listening to in the 70s and 80s, kind of like this was the amalgamation of that.
Yeah. And obviously, what's great is that although we have not worked together as a five, so there we are. We've not worked together as a five before. We're all interconnected, you know, like I was in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra while Joel was in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. We wrote a couple of songs for an Inglorious album. Tommy and Joel are obviously in Whitesnake. Marco was in Whitesnake, so knows Tommy and Ted Nugent. Michael Sweet's done an album with Joel. You know, I mean, like I've toured with the Dead Daisies, so the whole thing, like, we kind of do have chemistry because we know each other.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to come together and do something like this, and it feel fun. Like, there's nothing. Doesn't feel like work at all, you know. Like that couple of days in LA when we shot the videos was just amazing, and I think it proved something to us that we all kind of went, well, this could actually be really cool in a live environment because we all get along. It's a great band, and live it could be something really special.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that question later on, but definitely I would love to see this band actually tour, because I think there's something there that you guys have that most of supergroups sometimes don't have.
Yeah, and I think obviously it's the logistics, right? It's a logistical nightmare. Two of them are currently on tour with Whitesnake. Michael's doing the Striper thing. Marco's doing his own thing. I've just announced a tour later this year. So everything's kind of against us. And also still with the pandemic, the promoters aren't getting the seats filled that they need to get filled just yet. So in the future, it'd be amazing to do. And I think we'd all be up for it. In principle, we'd all like to do it.
That would be awesome. We've spoken once or twice for Inglorious, and your writing style was very different, or your approach to writing. You guys always seem to get into a room together and work things out. What did you think of this remote working opportunity versus and which do you like better?
I like people. I like being able to change things in the moment, and yeah, it was. I like a challenge also though. So this was a challenge for me, being sent songs and riffs and keys that I hadn't picked, and things like that that I had to kind of find my way into. But I've been trying to do that a lot over the last couple of years, is put myself in situations that make me feel a little bit more uncomfortable,
Yeah.
so I can grow. Um, and yeah, this definitely was that. I've never written a song just like cold like that without being involved in it beforehand.
Yeah, it's a great experience, right?
Yeah, and every you can't say no to these guys, right? They're legends.
No,
So
no, definitely. You don't get asked back.
no, I'm cool. I'll do whatever.
Yeah. You know, um, Let me see. Tell me a little bit about this. There's got to be a certain level of temperament and patience and respect that you have to bring to the table when you're doing a project like this. Because, like you said, you're not in the room, you're not collaborating face to face. So, what do you have to bring to the table to make this all work?
I think one thing that really helps is we're really good at communicating. So if there was an issue with anything, or people weren't happy with a first draft of a mix, or weren't happy with whatever it may be, a guitar sound, a drum sound, a vocal edit, whatever it may be, even a music video or whatever, we'd all voice our opinions as a group. So all of a sudden the emails would be coming in, and everyone was there wanting to fix it. There was no one withdrawn from that process. Everyone as a group, including Tommy, like was on there. It's crazy. He getting emails from him is like the craziest thing. Like to see his name pop up in your inbox is like just mad. But sat there and like actually, yeah, seeing how everyone works, and professionally we come to decisions, and not all of them kind of went necessarily everyone's way.
Mhm.
But there's so much respect there that it's absolutely fine. Like this is iconic is the brainchild of Serafino. This is his thing that he wanted to do. I think originally it was to set me up with a side project with Michael Sweet and then Joel, and then it became this band and this amazing project.
Yeah.
But it has very much been his thing: artwork, name, music videos, whatever. It's all creatively. We've not, apart from the songwriting, we've been kind of removed, and I've really enjoyed that. As someone who runs his own band, like with management, but I creatively am in control of everything with my band. It's been really nice.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed that aspect of it, because I know that it's in safe hands, and if there is something that we don't like, we can all talk about it, and we get an outcome.
Oh, that's great insight. You have such a powerful and instantly recognizable voice. Did you have to do anything, or did you change anything up from the way you record or sing on Inglorious to this project?
I sung a bit heavier, I
Yeah.
think. I'd definitely say that although moments on like All I Need and Worlds Apart, I'm singing some of the sweetest stuff I've ever sung. I tried to I tried to think what the fans would like while I was recording this. I kept thinking, what are the hard rock fans, melodic rock fans going to want from a singer on this album? And I gave them some real kind of like metal, meaty screaming and some big fat notes. But I also gave them real moments of sweetness and melody. And yeah, I want to show everyone that I'm very versatile as a singer. I've always been proud of my versatility. It's not just one sound. And even on this album, I think I managed to prove that, which is a result, because I was nervous at first that I'd just be kind of very power the on 10 the whole way, but I've found moments where I can be more soulful and I can be more metal and I can be more sing and really enjoy those ballad moments as well.
No, that's great. What I love about Inglorious is you write some great angry songs. It's great for working out to and pushing through.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's what I love about it. And I thought in my mind, you didn't sound as angry.
I'm no, I've the whole time I had a smile on my face recording this album,
Yeah.
and I think now I'm not as angry as I was a few years ago. I've chilled out a bit. I've learnt so much, and I think coming into this situation, it's a good job I did, because
Yeah.
I've only ever been my own kind of boss in my band, so it's been really nice, kind of like just being a part of an amazing team, and not having to make those decisions, and just enjoying singing.
That's great. You've always had an affinity to all of your Inglorious stuff, and this album it follows suit. Melody-driven songs, really great melodies. You're always coming up with great melodies. How do you keep yourself pushing forward without stagnating on that, and just making sure that everything is always sounding good?
Time is the key. I think I've never been one to rush the writing of an album. Like that stresses me out when there's deadlines to complete songs and send demos to the label. And I got to a point with Frontiers actually where I now don't send them any demos. So that we have an understanding where when I'm doing an Inglorious album with the boys, they don't get a demo. They get they get the album completed, and that's kind of it. Because I haven't let them down yet. I haven't delivered an album that's been been terrible. So I feel like we have a trust and a respect, which means that I can enjoy the process rather than constantly being like, okay, we need to do this, we need to get this to the label. I don't like doing it that way. I like taking my time and I'm making tweaks up until we record. Even in the studio I'm making tweaks. So yeah, time is and patience from them as well.
That's great to have that opportunity. A lot of people don't get that. So that's
Yeah, and I think it's taken me a while. They heard demos of our first album, and then after that, I think I was like, look, we can't do this every time because we're racing to get the demos done when we're not going to be recording the album for another 6 months. So
yeah. And the feedback is not always constructive.
no, whereas, and a lot of the time as a songwriter, you do eventually come to that decision yourself, right? You do eventually. If they said we don't like this bit, I'll go, yeah, well, neither do I, but it's part of the process. I have to write the crap bit to get the good bit. Like that's how. Yeah, you make those changes and you self-edit as you go along. So yeah, it's a really great. I have a good relationship with Frontiers, and I feel super lucky that they've got me involved in this project. They could have had any singer they wanted in the world, so very lucky.
Yeah, no, and you did a tremendous job on it. I know that you recently released Inglorious released the live album, and you're also doing a tour of Europe, right?
Yeah, just the UK for now.
Just the UK.
We hope to be out in Europe, but it's still very tricky with COVID, etc., and the economy. So we're trying to make sure we stay afloat and we do it at the right time.
Yeah, the economy is bad over there, like it is here.
Yeah, and places that we want to go. So it's people are really feeling the pinch of this COVID thing. So yeah, and also promoters aren't taking the risks they would have taken before COVID. They can't afford to take risks anymore, and so it's just a tricky situation for everyone.
What's gas prices on over there? They're up to over $5 here, $5 and change.
What's that for? A litre?
A gallon.
It's at an all-time high. I think I have a diesel car and a petrol car, and the petrol yesterday was 191 pence a litre.
Oh, okay.
which is high. And I think the other day diesel was over £2. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't do the math, but yeah, we're
it's
at the highest
high.
we've ever been in, I'm 58. It's the highest we've ever had it since I can recall.
Yeah, it's it's like that everywhere, and it's only gonna. But that even that has an effect for a young band, right? Because
Yeah.
you've got to fill your tour bus up, right? So now all of a sudden, every day that's costing double the amount to get somewhere.
True.
So there's all of these things that I think people were. We announced a tour yesterday. And there were some people saying, "I can't believe you're not coming to see us. I can't believe you're not coming here. You're not coming here. You're not going to Scotland. You're not." And I thought, this has taken us 3 months to make even remotely viable.
Hmm.
Like at the moment, we're at a point where we will do this tour, and everyone will just get paid.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
and people are complaining about us not going places, but you'd lose money,
Yeah.
and we can't. And in this economy, people aren't going to take those risks,
No.
and people still aren't coming out. I don't think in the numbers that they were before.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I've been going to a lot of shows, and the prices have jumped on the tickets, and there's less people, there. So yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. When we talked a while ago for Inglorious, you didn't have it was too much work or too much money to get to the United States. Obviously, that's doesn't sound like it. Things have changed now, right? Of
no,
course, that was pre-COVID we talked.
yeah, I it's I think the problem is if you've got like a great big support tour and you're playing arenas or whatever, you're going to sell loads of merchandise every night. It'll probably be absolutely fine. But
Oh, really?
to tour on a kind of normal level would be your visas per person is so expensive, man.
Yeah,
It's
that's right.
like a visa is so expensive.
Wow.
And you've got to pay not only our visas but our crew visas, our tour manager visa. Um, it's just our sound guy. It's just so much that it just wouldn't be worth doing. And also what I think about Iconic is if it tours, is that the logical thing would be for me to go there, right? So
Yeah, totally.
there's only one of me. So so whereas there's four of them. So I think from a financial point of view, it might be that if Iconic ever does do a show, it would probably be stateside.
Oh, it's great. And I hope it does happen. Listen, I want to be respectful to your time. I want to thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to speak with you again. And like I said, your enthusiasm is infectious. And I love the CD and I can't say enough great things about it. So congratulations to you guys.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
And stay safe on the road, okay, while you tour.
You too, buddy. Have a good
I'll
day.
talk to you soon. Bye-bye.